everyone, and welcome to the 30-Day Summit, where Russell Brunson has brought together a collection of his top 2 Comma Club and 8-figure award winners to share with you how they would literally survive and begin to rebuild their business in just 30 days if they lost it all. My name is Bailey Richard, and right now I'm delighted to be speaking with Liz Benny. Liz lives and breathes the philosophy of playing life full out. And it's not about doing that in a way that other people say is right or proper. It's about being 100% authentic to herself. That's where Liz believes true happiness happens, and she wants that for everyone. It took Liz a while to find business success, although she earned a master's with distinction from her work in positive psychology. After this, ironically, Liz found herself stuck in a job that was draining her soul. So she made a decision and set out to create a better life for herself and her family, a life she'd always dreamed of. She firmly believes that everyone deserves happiness, and her passion is drawing that out of each and every person she works with. Here's the thing. She knows how to make you a ton of money in business, but she also knows that if you're not grounded in what makes you truly happy, then all the money in the world will never be enough. Ever. Liz's main focus at the moment is sharing her message of how to be authentic, and she does this through her work as a keynote speaker, assisting others to kapow with various training programs and one-on-one business mentoring. People say that she has a magnetic and engaging personality that you literally get swept along with. But deeper than that, Liz has a raw passion to impact the world positively before she dies, and has a goal of helping 1 billion people live true, real, and authentic lives. Crazy goal? Yes. Impossible? No. So Liz, welcome to the summit.
Hey, thank you so much, Bailey. I'm excited.
Well, we're very excited to have you. And I'd like to kick things off discussing your 30-day plan by asking you if you could give us a 10,000-foot bird's eye view of your plan. What is ultimately going to be happening in these 30 days, and what is your strategy for getting it done?
Got it. Cool. Hey, so for those for everyone watching this right now, I want you to know that this was kind of difficult to do because I've been around in this world for a little while. I've done lots of things online, and it really was quite incredible to be able to take my mind back to, like, what literally would I do if I lost it all, if I wasn't known, if I just literally going right back. And if I only had the knowledge that I have right now, like, what literally would I do? And so there are so many avenues, and I want you to also know right now, there are so many avenues that I could have gone down for this particular one. And even I was like, oh, I could do that, and then that, and then that, and then that. And I'm like, no, stop. And I want you to know that whilst I'm answering these questions, it really is a matter of me going, taking the mindset of, I want to make as much money as humanly possible fast, because the scenario is I want to pay back those debts. So I'm owing money to people, and basically what I want to do is take a fast pass. So what I'm about to say, like, I like to move fast in business, and what I'm about to say, like, it's about taking a fast approach, and I like to take full concerted effort, like, forward, absolutely forward. And once I get that momentum going in business, I really want to make sure that I keep that momentum going, because I've been around business long enough now to know that starting and stopping and starting and stopping and starting and stopping is like the worst thing you can do. So for the purposes of this, I've basically said that what I would do in this scenario, 30 days, if I had 30 days, rebuild my business in 30 days. I really want you to know that I'm taking a double-edged sword approach here, starting with the knowledge that I have and really becoming a servant leader straight away. Like, it's straight away. How can I help people get them results straight away as fast as humanly possible, and also get me some cash in the bank to buffer, and so to pay the debts out, and also have enough to move forward, right? So it's a double scenario there. But then the long-term focus is to start with coaching, right? To start with one-on-one, to start with group coaching with a little bit of one-on-one. There's a little touch of genius in there. And I mean touch of genius because it's a point of difference, and I really want to make sure that there is a point of difference in what it is that I'm bringing to the marketplace here. So starting with coaching, and then moving into packaging that up and selling that en masse for a reduced price. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. So my next question is, if you could please give us a little bit of an insight into these coaching programs that you're referring to. You mentioned something about, groups versus solo, but I'm curious also about bonuses, price point. I'd love to hear more about what these coaching programs look like to you.
Got it. Okay, cool. So I've actually got it up here on my dual screen. So for those of you watching, I am looking up here as well, because this is super important to get this, to get this 100% right. Now, in terms of the group coaching, what I really thought about here is, how can I package up a no-brainer offer? I know that if putting myself back in the situation that we're answering here, I've got no fame, I've got no money here, I'm behind in my bills. What must I do? And how do I make this a no-brainer offer financially for people, but also in terms of the deliverables, and also in terms of who I am to the market as well, okay? So what I really wanted to do is work out what people want. What do people actually want? People want more money, people want more freedom, people want more happiness. Now, how can I deliver that? Okay, so in terms of this coaching package, what I decided, I'm just scrolling down here a little bit more. So what I decided here really is to put a point of difference into this scenario, is to make sure that people got one-on-one interaction with me, because if we look at it that from a value ladder standpoint, that is the highest possible echelon in coaching, is to work one-on-one with someone. But that's not scalable long-term, right? So I want to make sure that in this 30-day period here, I get as much done as humanly possible. I have as much leverage in that 30 days as humanly possible. And I have as high, I have high touch points with the people that I'm working with straight away. Those touch points are so incredibly important to build community, to build results, to build momentum, etc. So, okay, so what I would put into this coaching program is one-on-one with me. It's group coaching. It's access to all the content, as soon as it has been recorded, but also making sure that they have access to future stuff as well. So I'm going to slow this down a little bit here. The offer from a coaching standpoint, my first offer that I would bring into the marketplace from a coaching standpoint is they would get a live one-on-one, I would call it like a Kapow start call with me, where I work with them, make sure that they are clear as to where they're going, because clarity is incredibly important for people in coaching. Well, in business, they have to know that if they are at point A and they're trying to get to point Z, they need to be able to see the direction and the pathway in their mind in order for them to be able to get into momentum. Okay, so first things first is a one-on-one call with me. And then we would switch that into a group coaching scenario. So the deliverables for this coaching program that I would be putting together here would be all of the content that I would put into a course ultimately at the end is going to be delivered in a group coaching scenario over Zoom, much like what we're doing right now. All of that content goes into a program, an online program, which they get access to immediately. So that is the moment it's uploaded, boom. So for me, it's important in this situation for there to be participants, for their, they get to ask me questions. It's not just me drabbing on about something. It's me being able to deliver that content real time to real live people, packaging up that content, putting it into an online members area. Does that make sense?
Okay, absolutely. Well, let's talk a little bit about the funnel here. What does the funnel look like that you're ultimately going to be using to bring clients into this program?
Okay, so here's the deal. Keeping in mind that I am going back to the scenario, I'm a nobody. Nobody knows me is what I mean by that. I don't have any guru status. What I do have, I always think about this, what do I have? What are my assets that I can build on? So I've got my personalities, and I the way I use my body in terms of videos, etc., is really, really, really part of, I guess, the thing. It's my assets is what I can build on. So I want to make sure that any of the assets that I have, I'm bringing into that funnel in order to cut through the noise online. So it's kind of a little backstory to walk forward into where we're going here. So there's a lot of noise online right now. And in order for me to get momentum out of the gates, I want to make sure that I'm the funnel, that what they're about to get is such a no-brainer. It's absolutely a no-brainer. So what I want to do to get people in to find out about the coaching program is to offer a no-brainer free offer, which is high perceived value, so very high perceived value, but also actual real-time value as well. So there's a lot of marketers out there that are really good at marketing and things look good, but they don't necessarily deliver the goods as well. So I want to make sure that that free offer that I'm giving away, which I'm getting them to opt in for, is a no-brainer offer. It's so high value that even with that, they can get success. Okay, so what I would be putting together is a really nuts and bolts, a really good free offer plan based on the knowledge that I know in order for them to be able to get success, in order for my clients to be able to get success. I'm putting together a no-brainer offer. I actually have one out in the marketplace right now, which when we get into the screen share scenario, I can actually share that. But it's like the 12 steps to living an authentic and compelled life. Me personally, I take a very internal and external approach to business. And as you read through the words that I've written as part of the summit here, you'll see that I really do take an internal and an external scenario or approach to business, because a lot of people are trying to be successful in business, but they don't have the internal stuff solid. They don't have the internal stuff set. Their mindset is off. Their belief system is off. Their health is off. They're not drinking enough water, right? So it's really fundamentally important here to make sure that the offer is really high level. So I can share that offer here in a second. So they're opting in to find something high level, high value, bright, happy, is future pacing, has future pacing in it as well. And then on the next page, basically, it's a video of me being raw, real, authentic, just like I'm doing right now, and saying, "Hey, I'm Miss Capel, Liz Benny here," and then basically offering them the no-brainer offer to work with me, and it is one-on-one and group. So the exact offer that we just talked about there, for them to be able to come in here, and where we're talking about price point there. So I want to make this a no-brainer offer, but not stupidly no-brainer. And what I mean by that is, if I was to offer it at $25,000 out of the gate, people are going to be going like, "What? Okay, no thanks," is potentially what the offer would be, what the response would be there. What I want to do is make sure that I get success stories for my clients, and then I can leverage on those success stories to then go out and market the online program. So what I've kind of figured out here is to make sure that I have enough cash in the bank to set those debts aside, and also have enough cash in the bank to be able to grow and scale the business, with Facebook advertising, etc. What I would be looking to do is bring in around 15 people at the $1,497 price point, which is a no-brainer offer. That is it's a no-brainer, but it's also enough to be a push for some people. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. One other thing that you did mention in your plan I'd love to ask you about, if you have any additional information to share, is how you'd also be offering some discounts for a few enrollments in the program so that you can gather case studies and testimonials. But you'd also say that you'd be very upfront about that. So I'd love to hear your thoughts about that particular strategy.
Definitely. Cool. So that's actually part of that pricing, that original pricing that I just mentioned before. So the 1,497, what I would be doing is thinking of this as a $3,000 to $5,000 coaching program is what they're walking into, but making it no-brainer and saying, "Hey, look, I'm here. I'm going to be helping you get results. As long as you run fast and as long as you run with me here and follow the plan with me here." The price point is actually 1,497. So at the end of this, I would be expecting that around 8 of the 15 have done enough to be able to provide incredible testimonials back forward. And whether those are testimonials based on "Hey, Liz is amazing. She does what she says she's going to do. She leads with integrity. Her energy is amazing." Or, "Hey, I got results with Liz Benny," stuff all of those testimonials across the board are really, really good. Of course, I want the results testimonials. Those are the juice. Those are the ones that I would really be after. But even for someone to say, "Liz was amazing. She woke me up to the possibilities in life." Not everyone walking into a coaching program is going to get the end result that they thought, but some people get better stuff, get other stuff along the way. So I've done enough in the coaching space now to know that 100% success is I mean, it's nice to go after 100% success for your clients. I mean, I still want that. I absolutely do, because I'm a Virgo. I'm a perfectionist by trade. It's what we do. But it's also one of those things that you've got to understand that life gets in the way for people as well. So there needs to be some flexibility there too. So that's where that kind of reduction in price, and I would be upfront about that. The offer has to be positioned in such a way that I'm saying to people, hey, look, I'm here to get you results because I want to leverage your results to build my business, to build this. So me getting you results by following this system here is a win-win scenario. And that would be part of the online application, part of the phone call, part of the consultation scenario.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I love that you're reminding people to be realistic with their expectations, even though that you are using some of the results from other success stories in order to show people what's possible, recognizing that though you might be the coach responsible for getting them from point A to point Z, there lies a significant amount of responsibility with them as well to accomplish those results.
Yeah, exactly. Look, here's the thing. I love coaches who know the plan for people, and I a good coach allows the person to do the work themselves too, right? So you can lead a person to water, or you can lead a horse to water. You can't ever make them drink. And I've seen this time and time again in the business world where people, they say they want success and they say they want something, but sometimes they're just not prepared to do what it takes, which is why, and I've got my notes over here, I'm thinking that around 15 people at the $1,497 price point, I mean, that brings in $22,000 around, roughly, in that first 30-day period. And that's why, yeah, and 15 of those people, around 8 to 10 are going to be the ones that I work with. Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Well, let's keep moving on in your 30-day plan to days 8 through 13, where you say that you're going to be marketing strong. Those are your words, and really focusing on trying to get people through this funnel. What are some of the strategies that you'll be employing to market strong?
Okay, I love this. Now, here's the deal. If you're watching this right now, you could be new, you could be in the startup phase. I don't know exactly what phase you're at right now. What I do want to say to you is that the people that, quote unquote, make it are the ones that have made it past that 1 week, that 2 week, made it past that excitement energy into the holy crap, I'm doing it now energy. And that's why I really want to make sure that I'm marketing strong, and I'm focused on marketing strong in this area. So the first thing I want to say here is that in order to market strong, I have to be able to be centered first and foremost. So you'll see in my plan here that I have, that I've written out here for you, that it's internal and external. Number one, I have to get my mind right. I have to get my beliefs right. I can't do Facebook Lives if I'm having a bad day. I can't, a bad moment. If I'm not believing in myself, there's no way I'm going to get on Facebook Live, because that is doing a disservice to myself and other people, right? So that's why in this scenario, it's an absolute must that my mind is right, that my faith in my abilities to perform for both myself, my family, and my clients is 100% safe, sound, and solid, okay? So that's the foundation of marketing strong. And then moving into the more logical scenarios here, it's planning out Facebook Lives that are genuinely of value, 100% going to be of value, raw, real, honest, entertaining, infotainment type Facebook Lives that are value, because I firmly believe that anyone can come out of the gates and take over, almost like, holy moly, where did that person come from? As long as they're being consistent and they're basically penetrating into the market with such incredible energy, right? Energy based on value, based on honesty, based on truth. Because look, the reason why I'm saying this, being raw, real, and honest with you, is there are a lot of people online these days and people are a little bit over the gurus, right? So as long as you're raw and real and honest and you can cut through that, okay, you're going to make it much more. And if you're watching this right now going, oh, look, I'm scared of needing to be an expert. Seriously, like, don't worry about that. Just be yourself, be honest, and cut through. So in terms of the Facebook Lives, I'd say value Facebook Lives, you have to plan it out as well. So quick how-tos, and then I'd be looking to jump into either taking some of those Facebook Lives that have some great engagement on them and then using those as Facebook ads. By the way, like changing the copy in them first to make sure that those Facebook Lives have the URL that is going towards my free offer, making sure that all the Facebook Lives are pointing people to the very first funnel, okay, where I'm talking about, like, you have to grab this right now. You could probably put even some scarcity and urgency in there. I've got, 20 copies of these. I'm literally going to be pulling this, or not 20. I've got 100 copies of these. I'm going to be pulling it off the market. Like, go grab it right now, and then making sure that people are jumping through that funnel. So Facebook Lives, turning some of those Facebook Lives into actual ads where they're sponsored, targeting the right people, and then also looking to potentially do, grabbing your iPhone and doing some Facebook video ads that way as well. Then what I would be making sure that I'm doing is just giving as much as possible, like giving, getting my free offer out there into the world, and getting people to start like listening to what people are saying about it. Oh my gosh, this thing from Liz Benny was absolutely amazing. Grabbing that, and like any element of social proof that is starting to come through in this phase here, it's like, boom, there it goes. Yes, cool. And then, hey, it's you want it to be like the most incredible virus in the world, like a happiness virus of your business going out into the world. And then, of course, asking for referrals, and anything that you can do, and Facebook messaging people, jumping into Facebook groups that are similar to that, where your target market are. Now, one thing that I would say is that the only way in days 8 through 13 that I can market strong is because in the previous week, I've got clear and solid as to who my target market is. I can't market to my target market if I don't know who they are. Like, one of the worst things to do is try to market like this. It's like a splayed focus. But if you know what your target market is thinking, wants, eats, breathes, sleeps, all that sort of stuff, and if you can speak their language, it's not like you're going to be speaking gobbledygook and wasting your time speaking to A, B, and C, where D is the person who you are ultimately after. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, great. Well, in the interest of time, we do need to keep moving forward in your plan so we have time to cover it all. In week 3, you discuss actually delivering the content for the program that you have just sold. And even though this does extend into week number 4, I would love to ask you specifically what the delivery of the content actually looks like.
Okay, cool. I'm just going to keep it raw, real, and simple here. My plan for delivering this content is to make sure that there is a Facebook group where the community is talking, where the energy is nice and high, so they've got a community sense there. But in terms of delivering the content, it's a simple matter of having group coaching calls where everyone is invited to those calls. A lot of people have used GoToWebinar, but Zoom seems to be much more the way that people like to do it these days. And I would be, I still have GoToWebinar, but I would probably use Zoom for this particular scenario. And then delivering the coaching through Zoom. What I would do prior to that is make sure that I've actually used the likes of PowerPoint or Keynote to really and truly structure out what it is that I must teach these people in order for them to get the result. So I really and truly take a pyramid approach to this, like, when I'm delivering this content, what must they first know in order for them to, the next step to make sense, in order for the next step to make sense? Because if you try to build an upside down pyramid, it's just not going to work. So basically, invite people, live call, they get to ask questions at the end, and also there's always going to be deliverables, there's going to be, there's going to be things that they have to do at the end, they're committing to it, so there is accountability in there as well. Again, I'm after their success. I want their success story. So it's up to me as a coach to make sure that prior to teaching, I have fully thought through the details of what it is that they need prior to delivering that content.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I did mention in my last question that the delivery of your program is going to spill over into week 4, but there's also something else going on in week 4 I definitely have to ask you about before we wrap up this interview, which is all about how you are going to be creating a webinar to sell a course. Now, we haven't mentioned a course at all in this interview so far, so I would love to ask you what course you're talking about, and then specifically what your strategy is doing this during the final week of your 30-day plan.
Okay, cool. Wonderful. So keeping in mind that the very first people that I'm going to be walking through and helping here, I'm going to be helping them in a very one-on-one and group coaching scenario. I'll know their names, I'll know their faces, I'll know their stories, etc. Okay. Ideally, as I mentioned before, around 8 to 10 out of those 15 has taken massive action. They've seen an increase in their life. Maybe they've got a couple of clients on board. Maybe stuff is really starting to work for them. Maybe they've made $5,000, 10 grand, 15 grand, whatever it is. I've been hungry for their success, so that what I can do then is create more leverage in my life by being able to go from just a coaching scenario to then being able to sell that information through an online program as well. So what I'll be looking to do is turn that information. I might need to redo it. I might need to reshoot some of the content because I might have learned that, the way that I taught in that scenario just wasn't great. I didn't get it. I needed to reteach it, whatever. But basically taking that content and then selling it online. And the best way, it's not the only way, but the best way to do that is through a webinar. Okay, so I would be looking to create an online webinar, and I personally love auto webinars, an online webinar with a post-webinar follow-up series, or a pre- and post-webinar follow-up series, and then looking to leverage the results that I've already gotten for people and then sell that through, use that on the webinar to sell the online program.
Fantastic, Liz. Thanks so much for sharing all of that. We are coming now to the end of our time for this interview, but I want to make sure I give you one last opportunity to share anything that you'd like to with our listening audience about your 30-day plan or business in general.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So one thing I do want to say to people is I like to move fast. That's how I operate. And a lot of people might want to go a little bit slower than this. And I just want to make sure that everyone's that I'm setting realistic expectations for people. I'm not saying, hey, so this is, you're going to go ahead and make $22,000 in your first month. You're going to have helped 8 out of 10 people, or 8 out of 15 people. I want everyone to understand that it's okay to go at your pace. I want you to be 100% you. And but basically the plan that I have laid out here, it's good for you. It's absolutely good for you. What I would say is that it might take a little longer for you to be able to help people get results than that first 30-day window. So if I were to change anything in this plan that I have laid out, what I would say is that the webinar might happen at the end of month 2, and I might have focused on getting another group of coaching clients through because I might have needed to refine that process down a little bit more. Again, my ultimate thing here is to be able to have as much leverage in my life as humanly possible as a business owner, so I can help as many people as humanly possible. So I need to make sure that the goods, the course that I'm actually bringing out into the world is good. So that's why I'm saying it might take a little bit to refine it down. But for the most part, run fast, do it, use momentum, build on momentum, look after yourself internally so that you can drive forward externally.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for those parting words, Liz. For those of you at home who are feeling like, yes, I am ready to start embarking on my own 30-day journey to success, I have something incredible to tell you about. It's called the One Funnel Away Challenge, and you can learn more by clicking the button on this page and upgrading today for your opportunity to work directly with a 2 Comma Club coach to craft your own personalized and customized 30-day path to success and getting your next award-winning funnel launched. But when you upgrade, that's not all you'll be receiving. You're also going to snag some incredible bonuses, including the 30 Days Physical Summit book that includes all of the 30-day plans written by all of the speakers featured on this event, plus an unlimited access to watch the interview that you just saw with Liz, and of course, all of the other Summit speakers on this event. And this is my favorite part. You're going to get access to a second behind-the-scenes interview that I have recorded with every single speaker on this summit, where they are going to be showing me and taking me behind the scenes via screen share inside of their ClickFunnels account and inside their browsers exactly how they've actually set up their award-winning 2 Comma Club funnels. Truly, the value inside of those videos is out of this world. It's amazing, and it's something I don't want you to miss out on. So make sure that you click the button on this page to learn more about the One Funnel Away Challenge and upgrade today. One more time, Liz, it's been an absolute pleasure having you be a part of this summit, and we thank you so much.
Thank you.